took care of 4-seed Ryan Schaefer. Mika with 4 strikes in the first 5 frames. Ryan Schaefer leaving the nasty 7-10 in the 8th. Koivu Niemi with strikes in the 7th, 8th, 2 more in the 10th for good measure. He rolls comfortably. Then your 3-seed taking on 2-seed Tommy Jones. Mika, 5 in a row. Strikes frames 3 through 7. And this one was hardly ever in doubt. 241, 158. The win goes to Koivu Niemi. So Mika, your 3-seed, continues to move on up the step ladder. Up next, 1 versus 3 for the U.S. Open title. Time now for our More of What Matters to You fan question of the day, brought to you by the makers of One A Day and Randy. Laneside standing by with the question for Norm.
Thanks, Rob. This question comes from Millie Sims of Satellite Beach, Florida. Cut it out. Not far from where Norm and I live. Norm, what mental and physical strategy will you use today to give you an edge?
Well, mentally, I'm just trying not to freak out, to tell you the truth. It's a big day. It's hard. It's been a long wait. Mika's on a roll. Physically, hey, I'm fine. Physically, it's just about bowling. I've been doing this for 30 years, so I'm all right with that. Mentally, I got to hold it together.
Thanks, Norm. Good luck.
You're welcome.
Love Norm Duke and live television. Duke, your #1 seed, set to take on your 3-seed Mika Koivu Niemi. Your title match uninterrupted. When we return, can Mika get his 2nd major of the year? Can Norm earn his 7th major of his Hall of Fame career? Find out with us. Norm Duke sits just 1 win away from his 7th major title and 2nd U.S. Open crown. For the 46-year-old, it's all about the majors in this stage of his Hall of Fame career, and none means more than the U.S. Open.
Oh, the U.S. Open, baby!
And we're about 20 minutes away from deciding the winner of this year's edition of the Lumber Liquidators U.S. Open, live from North Brunswick, New Jersey. Rob Stone and PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson with you. Duke, your #1 seed, takes a seat. Mika Koivu Niemi will bat leadoff in our title match. This the 3rd match of the afternoon for Koivu Niemi. Took care of Ryan Schaefer, 236, 222, and then just dispatched Tommy Jones. A 241, 158 score.
The tournament leader owns 33 Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour titles, including 6 majors, 2-time PBA Player of the Year, and PBA Hall of Famer from Claremont, Florida, 2008 U.S. Open champion, Norm Duke.
To me, this is the hardest thing right here, Rob. Norm's been watching all day, coming off the bench, cold. First shot on television. Mika's got all the momentum going in his camp.
Leaves double wood. It is not easy being a #1 seed, and I know that sounds odd, but the numbers have backed it up lately. Percentage-wise, the 2 seed has seemingly had more success in title matches as of late than the #1 seed, and primarily because they get a longer look at the lanes in front of him. Norm Duke is the 1 seed, gets some practice shots, and then it is game on.
He's coming in cold, essentially. Mika has 2 games under his belt. The nerves are gone. He's got a nice blueprint of the oil pattern and how the lanes have broken down. Norm has to do all of that in 2 shots.
And he's just used his 2 shots as he works on his balls. We take a look at the arsenal for Duke today.
And we just listen to him breathe, trying to keep from hyperventilating, sucking in oxygen, and just trying to get himself composed and quiet the nerves.
strike.
The nice part about what he's doing, though, is he's going with his bread and butter shot, that real soft hand at the bottom of the swing and a pretty straight, direct line to the pocket. Five-pin didn't know which way to fall. It got slapped silly. Norm Duke still at age, how old is he now? 44? 46. Still throwing 16 pounds out here. Pretty impressive.
Koivuniemi steps up to close out the second. He has never beaten Duke. 0 for 3 on television is Mika versus your #1 seed, Norm Duke.
We saw both Ryan Schaefer and Tommy Jones play farther to the inside part of the lane than Mika's playing, and both were unsuccessful at beating him. Norm Duke, however, playing right on top of where Mika's playing.
Strike spare for Team Koivuniemi.
He's made 5 U.S. Open shows, 3 of them here at Carolier Lanes.
Now, Mika, though, does have a victory over Norm this week in match play.
You can see those scores, 199, 165. They were just absolutely brutal in match play.
And the they you were referring to, not Mika and not Norm, the lanes.
The lanes. Oil pattern. The conditions.
Norm Duke can really move up several lists with a victory today. A win would give him his 34th career title, would tie him for 4th most with the legendary Mark Roth, who we're going to see next week in Buffalo. He gets a win today. It's also his 7th major, to tie him for 4th was Walter Wade Williams Jr.
Two of the best going at it for the U.S. Open title. And this is shaping up to be just an exciting match early on. Both players have found pocket. Norm Duke still trying to manage the nerves. He's such a great champion. He knows how to do that. He has a great blueprint here at Carolier Lanes. That's why he's been so successful in past U.S. Opens here. And he said, you know what, for the most part, I know where not to play.
Triple for Duke.
That's a huge, huge break. He got away with one right there. He stole one. Got a little fast, missed it just a pinch at the bottom of the swing. See that hand go left? That's a miss right at the bottom. That ball tips up nicely. What a huge break. And again, remember, it doesn't take much on this oil pattern. Let's see where his bowling ball was down the lane at 40 feet. This ball goes high, leaving the 3-6-10. Well, it looks pretty good right there. Because Norm Duke is mirroring where Mika is playing on the lanes, the oil pattern's going to break down faster. Now it's time for Mika to move towards the middle part of the lane and open this tough U.S. Open oil pattern up just a bit.
Going after the 3-6-10. Takes care of it. Remains clean in our title match.
You know, Rob, I think the other common denominator when you see the players that have success at U.S. Opens, they're also extremely, extremely good spare shooters.
Back in 2008, Mika was the top seed here at the U.S. Open and lost to Duke. Hoping to turn the tables on him here in 2011.
Looked like he went with a little more speed there to try to hold the ball on line, and unfortunately it hit flat. Take a look, 6-pin, instead of going up and around, it kind of goes into the sidewall and lays dead right in the channel. Right now, Mika making the calculations necessary. Expect him to make some adjustments here in the next couple of frames.
3 spares, 2 strikes in the title match for Mika. Warren Fieldler, the general manager here, Brunswick Zone Carolier. Well, these guys do this tournament right when we're here in New Jersey. They have got it figured out. Great fans here in Jersey and North Brunswick. Didn't like it. Way right of target as he was going for 4 in a row.
Replay his shot, his form. Well, you see, Norm just called a tournament director. He's going to tape up the thumb hole, but it looks like he completely loses the bowling ball right at the bottom of the swing, and he knows it. Now, as soon as it leaves his hand, he's just hoping to leave himself a makeable spare. We saw it last night with Bill O'Neill only needing a mark in the 10th frame to advance to today's telecast, how quickly things can change. Norm gets off the little shaky start, leaving the 2-8 in the first frame, comes back with 3 strikes in a row. Looks like he's getting ready to string a bunch of strikes together, and all of a sudden he loses one at the bottom. Look, and now it's an open frame.
Tape again. Down.
With a win today, Norm Duke would earn his 34th career tour title, tying him for 4th most with Mark Roth. Next week, we will be in Cheektowaga, just outside of Buffalo, for the Mark Roth Plastic Ball Championship, live coverage Sunday at 1. And then the RV continues as we head west to the Woodland Bowl, Indianapolis, Indiana, for the Go RVing Dick Weber PBA playoffs. Coverage of that one begins Sunday, March 27th, 2:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Let's play the rest of the way.
Rob, if there's one thing I do know, open frames are hard to overcome at the United States Open. Mika has only had 1. Was able to bail that out with a 5-bagger.
You got to get that right. If you don't get it right, you can't get out of it.
What's he referring to there?
Take it out.
The position of the tape, he doesn't like the position of the tape. He's got to get it right, otherwise he can't get out of it the way he wants to get out of it. Talking about his release point.
So a spare after that open frame for Duke, and he's waiting by the ball return to take that ball and do some more doctoring. And now it's Mika's turn to get Mika, though, just 2 strikes, 3 spares, no doubles here as he begins his effort in the 6th, down 6. Today from Mika. He'll be the first this season to win 2 titles this campaign. It'll also mark his 4th major of his soon-to-be Hall of Fame career. As we take a look at this shot.
Well, remember the last time on the right lane, he went high, leaving the 3-6-10. That time almost a solid 9, but all 10 go down, and Mika looking to...
Very few have won multiple U.S. Open titles. Pete Weber, who was in the hunt for a while, sitting there with 4. Walter Ray with 2. Ditto Del Ballard Jr. has been very active today, doing some coaching.
There's your adjustment. There's your new leader. Mika Koivuniemi wins $250,000 at Tournament of Champions. Oh, what was it, about a month ago? And now looking to pocket another 80 grand. Hence the nickname Major Mika.
This would be his 4th major title of his career. Duke will not go down without a fight, though. Here he is, bottom of the 7th.
You're right, Rob. Norm Duke's like a badger when you get him cornered. You know, you don't want any part of that. And he's not going to go down without throwing some haymakers.
I don't think he doesn't have the crowd behind him as well. You get that emotion and get that energy going. You get that focus. You get that reason again to win.
This shot here is just spectacular. Now he needs to summons that exact same shot right here in the 8th frame and regain the lead. Oh, no!
Left the 8 pin.
Well, the 8 pin's the only true tap in bowling because that ball was perfect in the pocket, and it couldn't have come at a worse possible time for Norm Duke.
So Koivuniemi will step up with the chance. Put the wraps on a 3-bagger here, and Mika guaranteed to go over $300,000 in earnings this season. $250K by winning the Tournament of Champions will go a long way towards getting you towards 300.
Mika takes a re-rack by himself a little time. He wants this shot to be perfect. Working on a double can increase his lead to 14.
In double digits.
Look how big that 8 pin is now that Norm Duke just left. Mika with one more strike will be in the high 220s. Now, the best Norm Duke can shoot, 225. Big shot coming up here in 9th frame. That shot all but just sealed up this title for Mika Koivuniemi. High 220s.
The family fist bump.
Mika needs good count and a mark in the 10th frame, and he's going to capture his 2nd U.S. Open and that beautiful trophy. Norm Duke has to strike out to put any kind of pressure on him. He needs all of them right here, 9th and 10th frame. Again, how huge that solid 8 was in the 8th, because if he strikes there, he could have struck out to shoot 245.
Just about everybody on the PBA Tour would vote Norm Duke to put him in this position. He knows all about dropping pressure strikes. And there's one.
Got to have the next 2. He's got to get himself into the 220s and force the mark. Remember what happened last night with Bill O'Neill. Bill O'Neill looked like he was on his way to advancing to today's telecast, needed just a mark, went through the nose, leaving the 4-6-7 to lose to Ryan Schaefer.
There's 2 in a row.
Remember, Ryan Schaefer got up, struck out in the 10th frame to force the issue on Bill O'Neill. Norm Duke looking to do the exact same thing, but he has to have the next hit right here. Rob.
That's a big shot. Big shot right here.
One more effort here for Duke in the 10th.
Big shot.
Mika's sitting for a long time. And remember, Norm's finishing 2 frames, and one of those frames being the 10th frame. 3 shots he's throwing here. Sometimes that has an effect on an opponent, almost like a commercial break.
Woo! He needed to close strong. He slammed that. 4 in a row to finish for Duke. He's on the bench with a 225, and he will sit and learn his fate.
Feet strikes here.
There's what Mika has to do. The lead at 4. Duke applying the late pressure.
He's got to make it. He's a good spare shooter, but he's got to convert the 10-pin right here.
You heard him yell carry in finish. Couldn't get that 10-pin to drop. Single pin spare, misses it! He missed it! And Duke has won the U.S. Open. That is why you bowl every frame. Norm is still stunned by the result. But he'll take it. Koivu misses the 10-pin, and Norm Duke claims his 7th major and 34th career title.
They won't remember anything 20 years from now.
Mika will remember it 20 years from now. Another look. He did not like it, and the skinny jeans did not fit. He goes right of target into the gutter and hands the U.S. Open crown to Norm Duke.
Turn of events. You knew the score. Mika only needed a mark. What went through your mind when he got up in the 10th frame?
Well, I just lost the U.S. Open. And not from, of course, the 9th and 10th frames, Randy, but because of the errors in the middle of the game. You know, I know this is the U.S. Open condition. There's all kinds of things that happen. Heck, I was watching TV last night at about 11 o'clock when Ryan Schaefer made it, and I feel for Bill O'Neill, and he went through almost something as devastating. Not quite, I'm sure not quite. I feel for Mika. I really do.
What does this win mean to you at this point in your career?
That's a question that I'd have to be asked in a week or two. Right now, you know, of course, it means the world. Right now, my thoughts are with my family. Because it's hard for them, you know, to watch in the 10th. Sorry about this, but heart goes out to Mika.
Thanks, Norm. Congratulations.
Major amount of emotions on both sides of this title match. Koivuniemi head in hand still. Norm Duke kisses another major title. We'll be back to Jersey to wrap it up after this.
You did it, young man. You did it, young man.
The 68th Lumber Liquidators U.S. Open is brought to you by the USBC and its 2 million members. To find out more about USBC, log on to bowl.com today. By the makers of Bayer Aspirin, expect wonders. By Just for Men Hair Color, live forward. And by Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. The final scoreboard will read 225-216. It does not do this match justice. Mika Koivuniemi needing a spare in the 10th, unable to drop it, and Norm Duke from the bench wins the U.S. Open. Again, Koivuniemi goes right of the 10-pin and drops to the wood, and Norm Duke stunned, as many of us were, at the result.
Shocking. It's truly shocking. The last thing you would think would happen would be Mika whiffing a 10-pin. But here's the thing. Norm Duke gets up 9th and 10th frame after leaving a solid 8 on a strike. Shows the heart of the champion by striking out and putting this kind of pressure on Mika. Mika steps up. Great shot to leave the ring in 10, but he fails to convert. Absolutely shocking end to this U.S. Open.
Duke closes with the 4-bagger to take yet another major. Next week, we are outside of Buffalo, the Mark Roth Plastic Ball Championship live coverage, 1 Eastern on ESPN. Norm Duke, career title, number 34. Major title, number 7. His second U.S. Open comes in dramatic fashion. A conclusion bowling fans may never forget. A nasty flurry at the end, and Norm Duke wins it as Mika misses it. For Randy Peterson and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. So long from New Jersey. Congratulations to that man, Norm Duke.